All right, family. So I gotta say, this one really may have caught a lot of people off guard. It caught me off guard. So Sydney Colson signing with the Indiana Fever. This is absolutely hilarious for so many reasons, and I'm gonna break it all down for you. So first, we'll talk about what this means from a basketball perspective, because this is a basketball team. And then we'll get into why this move is so funny, some of the drama surrounding it, and ultimately why this is a good thing for the Indiana Fever. So Sydney Colson's fit with the Indiana Fever, let's be real, is she's not a player who's going to step onto the court and dominate. She's never been a major contributor on the stat sheet, and she's not coming in to drop 20 points a night, and that's just not her role. But what she does bring to the table is something very valuable: experiences, defense, and depth, right? And if you've been paying attention to what the Indiana Fever have been doing this offseason, there's a clear pattern. You got Dewana Bonner, a veteran with championship experience. Natasha Howard, another season winner. Sophia Cunningham, a gritty, tough veteran. Sydney Colson, yet another experienced champion. So the Fever aren't just signing random players. As we know, that Stephanie White, the head coach, has basically vocalized that she wants seasoned individuals around these youngsters, such as Caitlin Clark and Lexi Hall and all these young, fresh, and still new individuals that are to the league, because not only do the experience help overcome, as we know, this Indiana team has a lot of eyes on them. They have a lot of pressure when it comes to the media, just a lot of pressure in itself with things being at high stakes just naturally, right? Because how viable the team is, how viable Caitlin Clark is. We know that she's the golden goose of the league when it comes to the WNBA and women's basketball in its entirety, and changing the whole trajectory of the league. And everybody has eyes on the Indiana Fever, which has a lot of people watching the league in the first place. So I understand you want to have seasoned individuals around these newcomers that's coming into their second year in the league, just to, bring wisdom, right? And when it comes to this team basically having championship intentions, let alone championship, their eyes set on a championship, you have to be able to conduct yourself well on and off the court when it comes to this, and also have the right mindset. Mindset is everything. So they aren't just signing random players, they're signing winners. And Colson, despite not being a star player, was part of that Las Vegas Aces squad that just won back-to-back WNBA championships. And she knows what a winning culture looks like. So as for her on the court role, Carlson gives the Fever exactly what they need: defensive intensity. She's a tenacious perimeter defender, something every team needs. Three-point shooting, she can knock down shots when needed, helping space the floor. Veteran leadership, she's been around the league, she knows the game, and she can mentor younger players like Caitlin Clark and so forth. And with Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell already leading the backcourt, the Fever don't need another high usage guard. What they need is depth and someone who can step in, play smart, tough minutes, and bring leadership to the locker room. And that's exactly what Carlson provides. And why is this signing hilarious? Hilarious, you may say. Uh, let's get to the real reason why this move is funny. If you don't know, Sydney Colson has an unofficial title in the WNBA. She's been jokingly referred to as the face of the WNBA. Where did this come from? Honestly, no one really knows. But it's been a thing for a while, and a lot of it has to do with her huge personality on and off the court. She's hilarious. She's a social media star. She's constantly cracking jokes and making funny videos and just bringing energy everywhere she goes. And a joke that got so big that even legacy WNBA media members, the ones who have been covering the league forever, have completely bought into it, and literally seeing WNBA reporters and analysts fangirl over her in the tunnels at Barclays Center. I'm talking about grown folks seeing her and being like, oh my goodness, like it's the face of the WNBA type vibes. And it's ridiculous and amazing at the same time. And here's where it gets even funnier. Many of the same WNBA media members are huge Las Vegas Aces fans. So imagine their reaction when they found out Colson was leaving Vegas and signing with the Indiana Fever. Absolute shambles, right? So you think they were shocked when DeWanna Bonner signed with Indiana? This was nothing compared to this. And the Carlson signing with the Fever feels like an inside joke that somehow became reality. And that makes it one of the most funniest moves of the WNBA off season. And when it comes to the social media drama and the locker room concerns, now and I know some Fever fans are already digging up old tweets, past comments, and social media posts from Colson and even her agent, who I tried to look up her agent, but her agent actually deleted um her X account, formerly known as Twitter. And look, I understand why some people might be a little bit of skeptical about it, because right after the Fever's front office made it clear that this team is all about building a strong culture, it's natural for fans to wonder, right? Is Carson the right fit for that? That's the question. But let's be real. Carson just spent the last few years in one of the most disciplined, professional, and successful organizations in the league. Um, and this is, as you guys see on the screen, uh, Carson's agent, and it says fans, she posted, as you see highlighted, fans of this aren't really actually watching because it ain't no way you like watching this kind of basketball. Demonstrative, obnoxious, and privileged. And she's responding to an article about Caitlin Clark misses layups, then hits Jackie Young in her face, her unusual antics. The Rush Review didn't keep it a file on Jackie. And it says Caitlin Clark then pleads with the refs to give Jackie Young a flagrant one when clearly Caitlin makes contact with Jackie face first. Um, and this is just another example of, Sydney Colson's jokes, right? She said, "Hears me out," and then she has one of the Iowa team members, um, that were alongside Caitlin, and that's when she said, "They get mad, but I love a good look, the look-alike moment. It was all worth it." So, and then people were saying, people wonder why the Aces have a bad reputation when you sit online bullying college kids. And, however, you may not like the joke, but it's just a joke, right? At the end of the day, you may not like people's opinions, but you could agree to disagree. You could disagree and not like it, but they still have the right to vocalize their opinions. So I get this is an example of people digging up, things to see if she's a cultural fit for the Indiana Fever. And I just wanted to demonstrate an example of that here, because this is just her humor and what she displays on and off the court, and in this case on Twitter, now known as X. So, like I said, she was part of the Aces team that went back to back as WNBA champions, and she understands what a winning locker room looks like. And this is Sydney Colson. This is the article on ESPN. Sydney Colson joins Fever on 1-year deal with backup Clark. The two-time WNBA champion, Sydney Colson, is signing a 1-year deal with Indiana Fever as a free agent. Her agent, Lift Sports, Gina Paradiso, as I told you guys, she deleted her Twitter, told ESPN on Tuesday, Colson spent the past 3 seasons with the Las Vegas Aces, where she was part of the 2022 and 2023 title-winning squads. The 5'8" point guard brings additional championship pedigree to the Fever, who also signed fellow WNBA champions Natasha Howard and DeWanna Bonner and free agency. And Colson is expected to be backup 2024 number 1 overall pick Caitlin Clark at point guard. So it's amazing because it gives also Caitlin Clark a break, and also it helps with that the management of things, right? As we know, like in the NBA, when it comes to LeBron James, they like to do what they call it. Um, they like to call it what they call it, like bench management. They call themselves basically managing a bench and not trying to basically exhaust their star players. They want them to be effective and efficient every game. So it takes the weight off of the star player to always perform because they're still human. They can overdo it. They can, strain themselves, hurt themselves. I mean, we want them to play every game, but let's be real, for a longevity standpoint, they have to be right, healthy, and also every once in a while, everyone needs a relief, right? And I think that's amazing. And like I said, when it comes to her social media presence, I showed you guys she's a jokester. She always been about having fun, Sydney Colson. But does that mean she's a bad teammate? No. Even the infamous tweet that I showed you guys, she made a joke about Monica. It was a bad joke, sure, but it wasn't meant to be a mean-spirited one. You know what I'm saying? And let's be honest, if we go back and dig through anyone's Twitter history, we're going to find something that doesn't age well, and that doesn't mean someone is a locker room cancer. And clearly the Fever organization isn't worried about it because they wouldn't have signed her. So the bigger picture here and the Fever when it comes to where they're going, because you can tell that they're not really hone in. They're they love okay, they love where they're at, the Indiana Fever organization, but they're more in love with the journey and where they're going. And that's the amazing thing because you have to life is a marathon, it's not a sprint. And here's what people really need to take away from this. The Indiana Fever are officially a destination team in the WNBA. And for years, the Fever struggled to attract top talent, and they weren't a team that free agents were lining up to sign with. So if you look at it now, let's see what's happening. DeWanna Bonner chose the Fever. Natasha Howard chose the Fever. Sophia Cunningham chose the Fever. Sydney Colson chose the Fever. Why? Because of Caitlin Clark. And as Chini Mike put it, Caitlin Clark is the needle. She's changing everything. The Fever aren't just signing veterans for the sake of it. They're bringing in winners, players who understand what it takes to compete for a championship, and nobody is coming into this locker room just to collect a paycheck. Everyone is here to win. So if you're a Fever fan scrolling through the social media worried about old tweets or past comments, you got to take a step back and just chill. Because the real story here is that the Fever are turning into a WNBA powerhouse. And they're sending a message to the entire league. You either going rock with me and go in the direction I'm going in, or you're going to get the hell out the way, right? So, yeah, Sydney Colson is signing with the Indiana Fever is absolutely hilarious. But at the same time, it makes perfect sense, right? She's a veteran. She's a defensive presence. She feels a need. She fills in the gaps for the team. She's bringing an elite personality to a team that's already one of the most exciting in the league. And when Fever fans get to know her, they're probably going to love her. And look, because you say what you want about Sydney Colson, she didn't get the face of the WNBA nickname for nothing. And now the Indiana Fever has two faces of the league. Who would have thought, right? So, with no further ado, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you got some value from this video, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. And also subscribe for more WNBA in-depth takes and my opinion on it. And also breakdowns. So on that note, family, peace.